You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 4, episode 15 of Gay Rave, and I am so happy that we're back. Happy holiday. Happy MLKJ Day. It is so nice to have a 3-day weekend. Hopefully everyone has been honoring his legacy or resting or protesting or do whatever it is to honor Martin Luther King's legacy. I spent it by spending $40 at Radio Bakery. So this morning with Raver Grace, went to Radio Bakery and, got some coffee, got in line. The line so quick. Got in line, was being charmed by the man behind the counter, got up to the register and knew things were coming out. And I was like, oh my God, what are those? And they were like, oh, there's our focaccias and their little like tarts. They're like, well, do you want them? Do you want one? Talk about luck. Honestly, Mia has begun to convince me that if I believe that I'm lucky and good things are going to happen, that like I just will manifest that happening. It's been working for her and now I'm doing it and it's kind of low-key working. I don't know, you guys. We are into woo-woo shit in 2026, I am never going to shade my crystal and my star girlies. I'm really not. So I spent $40 on a variety of pastries. It was incredible. I have zero regrets. That was actually the only caloric intake that I had today. So shout out. Okay. So I have some amazing news before we start current events. The amazing news is, drumroll please, 5 p.m. sunsets are back January 21st. That is this week, people. It is going to be back on Wednesday. We are going to have 5 p.m. sunsets. And to that, I say, thank the Lord, baby Jesus in his crib. Like, I am so happy and so excited. These days have been difficult. And, I did bite off more than I can chew. I did bite off too many hobbies. Like 5 out of the 7 days a week, I have a fucking hobby to do. And I fear that I really thought that the seasonal affective disorder was going to be way worse than it is. Like, I am not depressed enough to be doing this much. It is crazy. But still, the sun is the only thing going down on me these days, and I'm just sick of it, and I need it to be later and later and later. It always gives me hope. And then we're going to have to start to manifest and pray for this groundhog. Okay, we're going to have to pray for this groundhog to be coming early. But we are getting snow this year, which does make me happy. It means like maybe, climatarily, things aren't as horrible as they could be. Okay. So everyone, cross your fingers and toes, pray to your crystals that the groundhog does whatever it does in order to make summer/spring come sooner. All these years on this earth, and I still do not know whether it's seeing the shadow or not seeing the shadow, and that's what the weeks are, okay? I have been a part of this fuck-ass tradition for 32 years, and I have not thought critically about it one time or long enough to actually remember which one it is and how many weeks it is. Really makes you think, okay? And you wouldn't know that the sun is the only thing going down on me these days because I got a cold sore this week, and I will say it was one of the more devastating L's I've taken recently. I'm in the viewfinder right now trying to show you, okay? So I never got cold sores. My family is a cold sore family, okay? My mother and my sister used to get them all the time. Listen, we were spending $100 on Abreva constantly, all right? Abreva technology, the cold sore technology, okay? Over-the-counter solution. And so I finally got one, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's from like making out. It's from, it's the pink eye of the mouth. And I said, girl, where? I'm the owner of this house. It's not my truth. All right. So I get this cold sore. Maybe it's my period. Maybe it's stress. God knows. But it is incredibly painful and incredibly large. I spent several days whining about it and then looking like I got a lip flip before I finally did a virtual doctor's appointment to get the fucking Valtrex. And here we are today. It does look better, but it does look like I got into an altercation. Okay. I have been concerned. I've been looking out for the community and I have not been doing anything reckless. Sort of, if you know, you know. But seriously, what kind of criminal punishment is this? That I would get a cold sore and I'm not even hooking up or making out. Like sometimes, like when you get a cold or when you got mono or whatever, you're like, at least I was kissing. Not me. No. It's probably going to this gym. No one's wiping down the machines. Okay. We need to talk about this actually. No one's using the spray. And you know what? At this powerlifting gym, hilariously, every like little spray bottles, I'm pretty sure it's water in there. Not that I've been like licking it or smelling it or anything like that, but like I get close enough where I'm like, if this was a cleaning solution, I would smell it. You know what I'm saying? So then they have these like cloths, like a microfiber cloth on top of each of the bottles. And it's like sort of damp because everyone's been using it. And I don't know if it's like all day or if it's like they replace them throughout the day, but I'm like, first of all, no one's using the fucking spray. 2, We are all using probably a water-based spray, if not water in general, and then this rag that wipes off every single thing. So there is no way that this is a sanitary situation, okay? That's all I'm saying. And so the fact that I have a cold sore should not be surprising to anyone. Meanwhile, I'm bringing to the gym tons of like hand sanitizer. I have the spray. I have like the regular liquid hand sanitizer. I'm doing everything in my power. I'm cleaning off things before I use them and after I use them. And still, here we are today. Okay, moving on. Current events. Okay, I need to tell you, I went to go see Hell's Kitchen last week because it's been out for a long time. You know, Alicia Keys has been putting her whole pussy into this show, and I'm pretty sure it won if not multiple Tonys. It's been on Broadway for a while. Okay, so I finally went to see Hell's Kitchen, brought to you by Alicia Keys, and well, mostly because like Neo was in it. Okay, fine. Neo was in it and he's in it through January 25th. All right. And I wanted to see it. So I did. And I thought it was good, quite long. You know, there's a first and a second act. So it's probably like 2.5 hours total with an intermission. And it's a little too like brown people written by white people for white people type shit. And that really doesn't sit right with my spirit, especially because today is MLKJ Day. Like the main character, absolutely stunning, by the way, absolutely stunning. She would like, you know, say her lines and then be like, yeah, I'm from New York. Ha, yeah, my ma's never lets me out the house. Yeah. And I'm always like, oh no. I look to my left, I look to my right, I'm stressed. Okay, we're all white. Oh God, slam poetry all of a sudden. But the highlight was, first of all, the person who plays her mother, face melting vocals. When I go to Broadway, I, first of all, love the spirit of the theater. I love to think about the actors living out their dream on stage every single night. I'm like, this is someone's dream and someone is living their dream right now. It moves me. Okay, it does move me. All the time, effort, and energy that it goes in to do this show and to learn the lines and to learn the choreo and to learn like where your marks are and to do that every single day, like 6 or 7 days a week, multiple times a day. I think it's incredibly impressive. Okay, so that's the first part. And the second thing I'm always looking for is face melting vocals and belting. Okay. And this is what this woman gave me. I was living for it. Don't know who she is. And I will put her in the show notes, but give her all the parts, give her all the awards. It was incredible. All right. Moving on. A lot of Alicia Keys songs were in the show and sort of like the narrative, you know, fit in as many Alicia Keys songs as possible. Some deep cuts too, some bangers. You'll see that reflected in our song of the week. But that got me onto like sort of Alicia Keys playlists on like Spotify/Apple Music. And then it got me down the Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is Mary J. Blige, but she's not gay, but she is corny, which is gay. And she also has fucking hits, which you will see reflected in our songs of the week. But nothing like, and then I started to go on YouTube and then I'm looking up like old Alicia Keys videos. I'm looking up Mary J. Blige videos. And then I'm looking up the one Runaway Love with Ludacris. That really like traumatizing and like really sad song by Mary J. Blige when Keke Palmer's in the video and it's like having to like run away from like your traumatic family environment, like run away, love, like all these horrible things are happening and there she's telling the stories of these young girls who are like being abused and Keke Palmer is acting in the situation. She's like sitting on a park bench sobbing. Mary J. Blige fully screaming the song lyrics next to her on the bench, screaming at her face. Like, girl, she is going through T's and T's. She's going through trials and tribulations right now. She's just hollering in her face, Mary J. Blige on this bench next to her. It really takes you out of the moment. And Keke is an amazing actor. Okay? I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but still. All right? Moving on. You should go see Hell's Kitchen, by the way. Moving on. The news is in. This just in. Some really hot news in New York. Mom Donnie is installing bidets in the Gracie Mansion. I also have on my list of things I want to do in 2026 touring Gracie Mansion. They have tours open to the public on Mondays. It's basically in the middle of the day, but they're like free tours of the Gracie Mansion on Mondays. So I do think that would be a fun activity in the event we ever get to do a Monday thing again. All right, when we get another holiday, maybe we take a day off, maybe we take an afternoon stroll to the Upper East Side. Okay, so he is installing bidets, and to that I say, another win in Mom Donnie's column. This man knows hygiene. And one thing that these dusty, crusty ass Mom Donnie haters don't have is a clean ass. Okay? So I have to give all rights and respect to him. Shout out. And you know what? If you are going to make a change to this, historical mansion that has housed, the mayors of yesteryear, make it meaningful, right? Send it on, pass it along to the next person, double it and give it to the next guy, make sure that they have a clean ass as well, make the world a better place. And he's going to be installing more public bathrooms. He is already doing good for New York in my mind. All right. I was in a situation without a public restroom the other day. When I leave, okay, so between my Sunday hobbies, I leave volunteering at like 1:30ish, and then I have until 3:30 when country line dancing is to sort of like putz around and do nothing. All right. And I was trying to find a coffee shop that I don't want to drink coffee because it's the middle of the afternoon and that's a Sunday. So I'm trying to find a place with an outlet so I could charge my phone and that I can get a non-coffee related beverage that also lets me use the restroom. Okay. Can't go to Starbucks, girl, the boycott. So what is a girl to do? I end up in fucking Moynihan Station. Who built this? Who thought this was a good idea? Nothing pisses me off more than Moynihan Station. And let me just go off on this for a second. If you were with me Sunday night, you already heard this, but do not skip this part. It's important that you hear it twice. Okay. So Moynihan Station doesn't have benches. All right. So you got people just sitting with all their belongings on the ground, lining the entire place. All right. So not only are there these like gigantic, just public areas, just like large open spaces. Okay. There are just people sitting and standing everywhere. Some people are in line. Some people are just sitting around the perimeter because they don't know where the fuck to go. There is no benches. There's no waiting area. This is the waiting area. And if you are sitting there or standing there for a long time, you're going to have to pop a squat on the ground where people's feet are. Their shoes go there. Okay. And they're coming from the streets outside where people piss and shit. All right. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, there's no public outlets. Okay. So as a woman who was looking to do two things, sit, shit, and use a public outlet, I got one of those. I got to use the restroom. Okay. The rest of this, I finally find an outlet. And guess where the outlet is? All right. It's at a standing sort of table. Okay. So they have this like, you can like sort of stand there and maybe plug a device in. But once again, no sitting. And what were people doing? Of course, sitting underneath it because there's nowhere to sit. No one's sitting on top of it because you would need to be at least like 5 feet off the ground to do that. All right. And then I get there, I take my charger out, I try to plug my phone in. Guess what? Doesn't fit the charger. It's like embedded into like a marble piece. So any charger thicker than the actual outlet can't fit. So you know what? Moynihan train station, you're canceled. You can take your bags and go. You can sashay away, in my opinion. I did find another place to go, and I was like taking a full FaceTime in the middle of this coffee shop. I do not give a shit. And I got a raspberry tea, and it was delicious. All right. So moving on, in case anyone cares, the New York Knicks have a Pride Night on January 27th. That might be fun. Maybe we can get a couple gay people to go. They always sell like great Knicks gay Pride Night merch. So it might be nice to get sort of like a Pride item for the Knicks, especially because we love and support the Knicks. They're actually a good basketball team now, so we might want to get on that bandwagon. All right, something to think about, okay? Moving on, current events. Oh my God, I was so excited to hear this. I am wearing my Savage Fenty by Rihanna today, if you're watching this on YouTube, because she is doing her Valentine's Day collection, which is like, a big deal every year. Savage Fenty is like a lingerie brand. It like began as a lingerie brand, and now it's like more like lifestyle as well. So she's putting Vivian Wilson in her newest sort of like Savage Fenty campaign for Valentine's Day. And if you don't know who Vivian Wilson is, this is Elon Musk's trans daughter, who he essentially excommunicated because she is transgender. Okay. And he has fully denied the existence of this person's female identity and essentially disowned them as a child. And so the fact that Rihanna is putting Vivian in this campaign makes me say, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are my mother, as well as mother to several children. I think she's pregnant again, but nonetheless, mother, 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 mother. And once again, say it for the people in the back. Say it with me. Fuck you, Elon. Okay, say it for the people in the back one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, Elon. Okay, moving on. In other news, there is a hockey player named Jesse Courtois who recently came out after being inspired to do so by what? Say it with me. Heated Rivalry. Trying to find one of these fucking podcasts by me that doesn't mention Heated Rivalry is trying to find rain in this drought. useless and disappointing. Any chance I can do to mention it, I will absolutely be mentioning it. This person is not and was never in the NHL, but he said that he did play in like other professional or adjacent leagues. And honestly, we'll take it. No other hockey players have come out since the show has come out, so we will take what we can get. But then I was looking into this more and I was like, the only hockey player that came out, not even in the NHL, kind of a bummer. Oh my God. And then I went down the fucking rabbit hole. There are only 5 out gay men in men's football or men's soccer in the world, in the men's soccer leagues. 5 out players. Okay. And that's because one of them like just retired. Okay. And the worst part about this, five. Okay. That's one hand, just so you know. One hand with all fingers, 5. Okay. So despite the progress, this is a quote, homophobia in men's football at large remains rife. There are still no out gay male players in the English Premier League, which is obviously a very predominant league in men's football. How crazy is that? 5 out football players in the world and none of them in the English Premier League. Something smells funny. That's so fucked up. Like the homophobia is so rampant. And they had to put all these rules in place, like I had mentioned a while back, from the Brits that we met in Italy. Oh my God, shout out Tim, shout out Karthik. You can't drink during soccer games because people were being demons. They were throwing shit on the field. They're mean to the players that they like. They're mean to the players, and when being gay is not even a part of it. They're just mean to the players in general. Imagine if being gay was a part of it. Jesus Christ. So I do fear that there is not much progress being made, but ultimately all we can do is create a climate of understanding and acceptance and hope that people change for the better in the future. Smile, smile, smile. Blink, blink, blink. Okay. But in actual gay news, okay, Netflix is making a lesbian show called The Body featuring our very own lesbian, Gabby Windy. And it's going to be 8 episodes, and it's created by the director of the lesbian mystery Under the Bridge. And this show, The Body, is going to follow a dance team at an all-girls Catholic school. I think this is a good concept. Listen, Gabby Windy, before she was the Bachelorette, before she was on The Bachelor with fucking Clayton, before she was on The Traitors, before she was married to Robbie Hoffman, I think she was a nurse, but also a Broncos NFL cheerleader. Hello. So this is right up her alley. So here are some quotes from the synopsis. After a dance team initiation goes wrong, a group of badly behaved Catholic schoolgirls begin having prophetic visions that set off mass hysteria in their town. They said it's a love letter to all the 90s and Y2K teen movies and erotic thrillers, which the writer-director grew up with, and also features religious and historical references throughout. I was also a teen with an embarrassingly intense fixation on the Crucible and the Salem witch trials. It's been interesting to revisit that with a shading of our current political climate. All of this points to success, in my opinion. So listen, if we can do it for Heated Rivalry, we could do it for The Body. I think this has goodness potential, everybody. So get excited. They said this year. Hopefully we'll see that this year. Also in gay news, other lesbianic TV shows, Hunting Wives Season 2 is in production. And they did this interview with Brittany Snow where she said, I stood up when I read the script. I was like screaming on my couch. I couldn't even believe it. She says, and I quote, "We filmed some scenes. We played some Renee rap. We got into a groove. A lot of things happened this season that are very shocking. It's going to leave people very angry, but in a sexy way." The fact that they're talking about like steamy scenes and she's like, we just got into a groove. We pop on some Renee rap. Let's get in a sexy vibe. Oh my God, girl. It's okay. It's okay. The way that she's like, let me relate to these LGBTQs. Let me say something they're going to like. Let me say it. Let me noodle. The concept of her being like, okay, what is sexy music to lesbians? Renee rap. Okay, the concept of putting on some Renee rap to have a steamy time. Okay, sure. Okay, let's get into rave reviews. Since we're already talking about lesbians, we're talking about Heated Rivalry. Let's do it, okay? So there is a European lesbian Heated Rivalry happening right now, people, right now. And it's going to be highlighted at the Winter Olympics. I can't even believe it. Okay, so there are 2 pro hockey stars. I'm going to start to say these names and you're going to fucking clip with it and you are not going to clip that and you are not going to judge me, okay? Anna Jelbin and Ronja Savolanyan, who play in the Professional Women's Hockey League. They are respectively on the Swedish and the Finnish teams. Okay. So at this Winter Olympics, which is going to be in Milan, I'll call her Anna Jelbin, is from Sweden. She currently plays for the Toronto Scepters, okay, right now in the PWHL. But she is going to be representing Sweden in the Olympics. And her wife, Ronja Savolanyan, she is from Finland, and she is currently playing in the PWHL on the Ottawa Charge. So, okay, calling back to the exact 20-year philanthropic partnership to Lovers Pipeline that Shane was ideating in the cabin episode, it's like exactly the same. Remember, they were like, okay, he's like, I'll be on Toronto and then you go to Ottawa. They are living that plot right now, people. Anna and Ronja are living this plot. Why do we not give them more attention? Okay, so they are currently both on Canadian teams, and they are going to be facing off against each other, not just in the PWHL, but in the Olympics. And they said, when we're on the ice, I'll body check them just like anybody else. We'll deal with it after. I was like, oh my God, such a sexy time. They're so gorgeous too. Those people, Swedish, Finnish people, just stunning, obviously. So Anna and Ronja, I will be watching, and I will be looking disrespectfully. All right. Okay. Also, since I was down my let's figure out the numbers in these leagues, there are only 30 openly queer players in the PWHL, Professional Women's Hockey League. All right. Okay, sure. Yeah. I'll take that. Just like there's 5 openly gay people in all of men's soccer in the world. Sure. Yeah, that makes total sense. Statistically, me, the person who once is known to say, isn't 1 in 4 people gay? That's way less than 25%. I don't think it's 1 in 4, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's like 1 in 10. But not in my world, not in this house. Ma'am, this is a Chili's. Everyone in my life is gay. Oh, but now with these new hobbies, I'm around more people. More like men, like straight men, cis people. It's always nice to see other cultures. Okay. Moving on to grave reviews. Speaking of people who are gay and who are happy, let's talk about the people who are not happy about gay people. So there's this study. In the 2024 study, there's a report from the American Institute for Boys and Men in December found that 71% of men born in the 2000s believe same-sex marriage should be legal. Comparatively, that is down 6% from men who were born in the 90s, and it's down 2% from men born in the 80s. The more current these men are, the less likely they are to believe that same-sex marriage should be legal. Concerning? Yes. Well, yes. 65% of 2000s men believe homosexuality should be accepted in our society. 65%. That is 7% less than those born in the 1990s and 3% less than the 1980s men. That's fucking crazy. The fact that only 65% of 2000s men believe it should be accepted in society. These numbers, pretty bleak. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? Francois, the guy who plays Scott Hunter in Heated Rivalry in the plotline with Kip, he came out as bisexual several years ago on Instagram. And he said that it's difficult because, masculinity can be fragile, but he wasn't worried about coming out. He's like, I'd rather just be honest. Like, I don't care about the consequences, so why not come out? And he said, it's only difficult because masculinity is most fragile currency, ready to nosedive at the first sign of vulnerability or difference. And I'm afraid of this new generation and the cyclical nature of society, but not in here, because I have some good news to temper this horrible news from our grave reviews, is that bisexual numbers are up insanely high in New York City. Okay. And I would like to say you're welcome, because it's probably thanks to my haircut. Listen, we got dogs, babies, women, men, non-binary. Remember Rihanna trying to save her ass and not get canceled in that interview? She said, these boxer briefs are for everyone. There's for men and for women and for non-binary and people of all gender denominations. She was doing everything. She was saying 1,000 words to not get canceled. It was amazing. She was trying to meet the word limit to not get canceled. Okay. So, according to Field's new annual Global Map of Desire report, New York City has the fastest growing bisexual population in the world, with bisexual identification jumping 161% in this past year. That's we're doing crazy numbers out here right now. We're doing the numbers Trump says was going to reduce the pharmaceutical prices by. We're doing crazy numbers. And they said heteroflexible is now the fastest growing sexuality on the app globally, up 193%. And New York is leading the charge when it comes to people embracing bisexuality as part of that shift. How sweet is that? Heteroflexible. I kind of like that. I actually think that that's more fun than bisexuality. Bisexuality is so boring. It's like, oh, I'm bi. I can like men or women. I like men and women. I can like anyone. Heteroflexible, sort of like, you over there, you over here. Oh my God, what's going on here? It feels just more fluid, like I'm moving around, you know? So, in a way, maybe we should do a rebrand. I think bisexuals actually been begging for a rebrand. The real ones, no. Okay, moving on. Can I say something for this week is Bad Bunny's most recent Super Bowl ad, damn near almost making me cry. Fellas, is it gay to cry watching diverse people dancing together? Yes, it is gay. I just want to queen out and watch these people have a nice time. They are so joyous. It's just like him walking in and then music starts playing and then just he starts dancing with different people. Like it's all blending together, like different genres, different types of people, different types of dancing. And it's just like, you know, at the Super Bowl, the world will dance. And of course, I'm sobbing, I'm crying, I'm throwing up. And yes, I am getting my period probably tomorrow. But damn, the world is so bleak. Sometimes you just have to be like, it is so nice to see people just like being joyous together, and it's inspiring and it's beautiful, and I hope that moment is exactly that. I hope that it is beautiful and joyous and diverse, and everyone can just have a little dance, move your hips a little bit, kind of have a nice time, and I hope I'm surrounded by people who are just like ready to turn up. And I'm gonna be dancing, queening out like that woman in fucking Marriage Story who's just like, girl, who's going to be okay. That is going to be so me. It's going to be February. Maybe the seasonal affective disorder will finally have hit. Okay. And his Super Bowl is going to hit like crack. I have been starting to listen to it in the gym again. And I'm just ready. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah. I'm turning into Gab's Club. I almost passed out. My I'm sorry for this week. I actually don't know if I have an I'm sorry for this week. I don't think I'm really sorry to anyone this week, other than the people who I let hit my vape with this cold sore. I bought a vape and really been sucking and fucking on it. It's a pink lemonade vape, and yeah, I did let people hit, and I do have a viral mouth sore. So I guess I'm sorry to them. And if you're listening to this, get an online appointment to get the Valtrex. You just take it 2 pills twice a day. That's it. It's just 4 pills. And use the Abreva $21.99 for the generic, and you'll be good. Okay, so I guess I am sorry for that. Sorry, you guys. Songs of the week is going to be I'm Going Down by Mary J. Blige. My whole world's up. And then Never See Me Again by Alicia Keys. Never See Me Again by Alicia Keys is like a 7-minute song. Kiss me like you'll never see me again. Honestly, just when you think it ends, she goes into another chorus. It's like, oh, and we're going to hit it one more time. And we're going to hit it one more time. It is truly my dream. I'm like, oh, my favorite part of the song, play it 6 times in a row. Thank you, Alicia Keys. Okay, so I'm Going Down, Mary J. Blige, Never See Me Again, Alicia Keys. And speaking of, you are never going to see me again. Just kidding. I'll be back next week. This has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for say it with me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.